When you work with a project that's integrated with Git, you can commit new changes, but you can also create new branches. Each branch can have a different version of the software. I'm not going to get deeply into all the ins and outs of Git in this course, but I will show you where some of the most important integration points are between Android Studio and Git. The project has to have already been set up as a Git repository. You can accomplish this either by sharing your own project or by cloning a project from, say, GitHub. Now let's say I wanted to make some changes, but I wanted to create a new branch so I could move back and forth between the two branches. There are a couple places you can do this. One way is to go to VCS, and you should see a Git menu choice there if the project has been integrated with Git. And then I can choose Branches, and that makes a dialog appear. Now I can click New Branch, and I can create a new branch by just giving it a name. I'll call this branch number 2. Your branches can't have any spaces in the names. By default, when you create the new branch, you'll be in that branch, and you can see that in a couple of different places. You can go into the version control window, accessible here, or from the View Tool Windows menu. It's right there, and there's a keyboard shortcut assigned to it. And there are a few different tabs here. There's Local Changes, and if you make any changes, you'll see them listed here. A log showing everything that's happened in this repository, pull requests, and console. The console is particularly useful because it shows you the raw Git commands that are being generated. This command, for example, was used to create the new branch named branch number 2. So now I'm going to make a change. I'm going to change the message that this toast message displays from Hello from Android to This is branch 2. Now when I go to the version control window, I'll see that file listed, and I can press Command-D on Mac or Control-D on Windows to see the changes. Now I want to commit my changes. Again, there are a few different places to do this. You can go to the VCS Git menu and commit from here, or you can go to the toolbar and click on the Git icon, that's the check mark, or you can do the same thing in the version control window. I tend to use the version control window most, so that's where I'll work. I'll click the commit button, and I'll set the commit message to a change for branch 2. And then if it's my own project or if I'm a contributor to that project, I can choose commit and push. But if I've checked out the project and it belongs to somebody else entirely, I would only commit to my local repository. I'll choose commit and push because it's my project. I'll see the push commits dialog and I'll click the push button. And now that change has been saved both locally and in the remote repository on GitHub. Now, let's say I wanted to move back to the other branch. Here's a couple ways to do that. I'll go to the menu and choose VCS Git Branches, and I can go to Local Branch Master and check it out. And there's my original message. I can switch back again with the same steps. I'll go to the Branches dialog again, and this time I'll check out Local Branch number 2. You can also get to your branches from this menu that appears on the bottom status bar. It's exactly the same menu. Now, if you have a whole bunch of branches, this dialog may look a little small, but you can click up here and expand the size of the menu so you can see as many branches as you might have. So those are the beginnings of understanding how Git is integrated with Android Studio. There's a lot more functionality that you can do without having to work from the command line in Git. You can go to the menu and choose Git and see that you have options to tag, merge changes, stash and unstash changes, clone, fetch, pull, push, and so on. To learn more about Git, check out the courses in the library that teach you about working with Git from the command line, and then explore what you can do in Android Studio directly from within the user interface.